Well, we are ending off now with the final segment of this morning's edition of News and Views as we continue with Hajj Diaries 2025. We're calling it Faith in Motion. And Alhamdulillah, honored to have Nazeer Jamal, humanitarian and also environmentalist, as he has embarked on his first Hajj journey. Alhamdulillah. Brother Nazeer, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran.
Yes, I'm just looking at your face and you remind me so much, Alhamdulillah, of your late father, Riyaz Jamal. Allah subhanahu wa
Allah,
ta'ala grant
Allah,
him Jannah,
Allah yarham.
Alhamdulillah, Rahimahumullah.
Ameen.
And over the years, Alhamdulillah, we've had so much association from a media perspective. So looking at your face now and resembling your late father, Alhamdulillah, and now you are on this wonderful journey of Hajj, Alhamdulillah. Allah Ta'ala has accepted you, Brother Nazir.
I mean, yeah, I do get that. People, I tell people, like, I look in the mirror and I see my dad every day, alhamdulillah. So we can continue sending his blessings and continue making dua for him.
Yes, I believe you in Azizia already at this point in time, and I'm sure that most of the Hujjaj, particularly from South Africa, are already now in Azizia. But let's just go back, and just take us through some of the highlights. I know you've been to Medina, Makkah as well. Just take us through some of the highlights and your observations, Brother Nazir.
So yeah, alhamdulillah, most of us, I think all the South African Hujjaj generally land now in Medina, and so we spent a good couple of nights there in Medina, uh, visiting the Prophet Sallam. I still remember during the orientation we had with the TWF Hajj, one of the words that Maulana Musa Olga said was that you're not going to visit the tomb of the Prophet Sallam or the grave of the Prophet. You're going to visit the Prophet Sallam, and to have that as a reality in your heart and mind still gives me shivers, and to realize that we're going to meet the greatest of creation and be in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ still brings tears to my eyes to understand the reality of it. And so having spending those days and nights consistently visiting the Prophet ﷺ, giving our salam, trying to get into the Riyadh. Alhamdulillah, we got twice. One is via group, and the second one was through a personal booking on the Nusuk app. And then, being in the presence of so many. I mean, that was the first time you're experiencing such a large number of people. It was going to prepare you nicely for Makkatul Mukarramah, because once you came to Makkah, you then realize there's another world out there. And I always remember the when I read the book on Malcolm X, and he explained his journey for Hajj. What changed him, coming out from Nation Islam to Sunni Islam, was the reality that he saw, a white man, a Chinese man, an African man, all doing the same, all praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and realizing at that point that there is no superiority, no Arab, no, any other culture is any superior to the other. We are all there for one purpose, and Allah will judge us in our deeds on that final day. And I think that's the reality that sinks in, that we are all human beings, but we also all share this one common goal of finding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the purpose of this trip. So being transferring from Medina to Makkah has a very different kind of feel. Medina has that peace, it has that warmth in your heart, it prepares you, and it felt like you went to the Prophet ﷺ to ask his permission, in a sense, to go now on this journey of Umrah and Hajj. And then when you get into Makkah, you then see this heavy kind of feeling, this power, this rejuvenation of your soul. It truly brings you back. And I've been reading a few books on the essence of the Umrah and Tawaf, and to understand that you're now moving in a anti-clockwise direction, which is similar to so many of the orbits of the universe, just like how the Earth is moving. And in that same kind of orbit, people are all gathering around and all in praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the dua that you read, it may seem like a simple dua, but the dua is so profound. Is رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. So, this dua is, as I said, it may just be a couple of words, but the power that it relies. And as you leave that Rukn Yamani and you're leading towards Hajar Aswad, you can hear the Indonesians reading loudly, the Turkish reading loudly on the other side. And it's just that feeling of brotherhood and connection like no other, alhamdulillah.
Well, certainly, in fact, I think you know what you are saying, and I always call Hajj the United Nations of the Muslim Ummah. And you speak about the Indonesian, the Turks, and the different accents as well. But clearly, it makes you feel, part of something so big, something so huge, and particularly, when you are in the mataf and when you are performing the tawaf. This is exactly when you feel it, and I'm sure you'll feel the same on the day of Arafat as well. When and also in Mina as well. But just looking at Alhamdulillah, from what you've described, you are obviously, you are very, very widely read, Brother Nazir, and that preparation, Alhamdulillah, has actually put you in good stead to understand the deeper meaning, the deeper implications of this journey, and we call it a journey of a lifetime. But when one is better informed, it just makes this journey extra special.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think part of the preparations, you've got the obviously the physical aspect, and that's a great deal for so many that could be struggling with this. And I think there's a lot of that kind of physical preparation, but along with that physical preparation is that mental preparation. And a lot of the time that I've spoken to friends of mine who said, yeah, they were training before and physically they were ready, but in the day, those who didn't train actually too much were the ones that had a mental mind that was strong, and they were continuing on this journey much stronger than the others. So there's that physical, the mental, and there's obviously that spiritual, and that means that we have to look at various sources. It's not just a ritual of saying, pick up the pebble and go and do this and throw this here and say this here, and then it becomes too ritualistic, and you're looking at your book at which dua to read. There's that aspect which we're not denying, but there's a deeper purpose and reason behind everything. Yesterday I was sitting in the mataf and this came to my mind, and I said that for 14,446 years this that Hajj has been conducted. And obviously I get the dates correct, but of when Hajj became permanent and obligatory. But the point is that for these how many years this action has been done by Muslims across the world, and you and we have now been chosen as those to conduct those activities and be the representative of that ummah. And that reality sat with me last night in the mataf, and I had a little bit of a cry because I realized the responsibility that I have for the ummah and as well as for myself to use this opportunity to connect and don't waste it, inshallah.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. In fact, I think what you're saying is so true. And I think every year when we do the Hajj broadcast, I always refer to Hajj as the ambassadors of the Muslim Ummah on behalf of an Ummah that is close to 2 billion strong, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has actually chosen you. And, you will be announcing on that day of Arafah, you would be announcing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with his call, with the Labbaik as well. So, Alhamdulillah, Allah ta'ala has chosen you this time amongst the millions that are going to be present. But just where you are at this point in time, obviously in Azizia, the odd trip now you'll make to Mecca as well. But it's more in, like you said, from the sereneness of Medina, coming through to Mecca, the hustle of bustle of Mecca as well. And then now to Azizia, where you're going to obviously relax for a few days before the final, the 5 days kick in, Brother Nazir.
Yeah, so this is Azizia. It's my first time being in Azizia, and I must say, you could see each day how busier it got. So from a more quiet time when we first came, and now seeing this traffic, you're seeing on the traffic on the maps, people from all different places, all coming into the hotels that are here in Azizia, and so there's definitely that, and so there is a bit of a journey that you take. It's not a very long one. It's probably about a 10-minute ride from here to the Haram, and the taxis now are taking you right underneath into the tunnel. I know yesterday we had a communication problem with the guy, so he's telling us nafak, nafak, and I'm like, I don't know what's nafak, and I googled it now, so it's tunnel. So yeah, it takes us into the tunnel, and you come out directly from the first elevator, and you come into the Umrah gate, or you get actually to the one closer to the main, the Great 79. So it's not too bad. Finding a taxi after that can become challenging because Ubers and Kareems don't work there. So you got to look at local, and that's when the pricing I've seen has risen from 20 to 30, now 40 to 50, just for one way trips. But again, they want to fill up a car, so I guess I can understand the pricing right now. But that's part of the game, right?
Well, no, certainly, certainly, but I'm sure you're looking forward now to the 5 days, and I've it's something that we enjoy at Salam Media and during my time on media as well is covering the 5 days of Hajj. It's just something very, very special about covering Hajj, and for me, I think I like to talk to the Hujjaj on the night before Hajj. Because I think that is a very, very special moment, and it's very apprehensive as well. I must add. I mean, having been there as part of the media, talking to Hajjaj as well, and it's like you're venturing into the unknown. And this is these are this is the feeling that many Hajjaj actually feel within themselves. And I'm sure, Nazir, you'll experience exactly the same. Especially that night before Hajj, and more importantly, is when you don that ihram. And when at that point in time, now you say, this is it. This is now where it's now become a reality.
Yeah, I mean it's as much as you can read. But even for your first umrah that you ever done, you read as much as you can on what to do, what's the steps, what do you read at this point. Excuse me. And as much as you read, at the point comes to a fact where you now have done all the research and it kicks in. So until that point, I'll be honest with you, it seems like very ritualistic. Okay, I got to do A, I got to do B. From B, I got to travel to C and move from here to there. So at this point, it seems like just a logistic thing. And once I get there, I'm trying to get into the moment. So one of the preparations that I think important, and I was telling my family this, was also having a proper strategy in terms of your dua. I noticed this when you get into the haram, even in Medina, you kind of get overwhelmed the moment at all the du'as that you ever thought and the people that sent you, and you're trying to, like, okay, let me say everyone's du'a, and you kind of get confused and flustered. So because you're in the moment. So I said you need to have a good strategy on the du'a, starting off by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as you can for a good couple of hours, because that can go on for years, to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thank Him for what He's given us, from our eyes to our ears to our feet, and to our hands, to everything that is blessed us with, our wealth, our family. And then from there, you can go on to your own personal du'as, the ones that you need, what you're searching for, from your life and your health and your wealth and everything. And then for those others in your family and around the world, in Gaza, Palestine, Kashmir, Sudan, Somalia, all the other parts of the world, South Africa. And so that kind of have a nice strategy so that you are able to cover whatever du'as that you want to do in this period.
Yes, no, Alhamdulillah. In fact, Allah Ta'ala accept all your du'as, Brother Nazir, inshallah. Allah Ta'ala accept your Hajj as
Likewise,
well.
yours
And
too.
I'm sure, I'm hoping at some point in time during the 5 days of Hajj, when we do our coverage as well, where inshallah we can actually link up with you, whether it's going to be out of Mina or possibly Arafat. Yeah, I know Arafat is obviously a very, very busy day. It's going to be an extremely special day as well. But, obviously we will try and see if we can touch base at some point in time because, Alhamdulillah, we always enjoy engaging with yourself, Alhamdulillah. And now that you are on this journey, inshallah, we look forward to that as well. But more importantly, as well, as I said, as we head towards these 5 days of Hajj, Allah Ta'ala keep you in good health, inshallah. And
Mhm.
also, all the other Hujjaj as well. And inshallah, we're looking forward to that. And if by any chance we don't get an opportunity to talk, I'm going to take this opportunity to wish you Hajj Makbul,
Amen.
Hajj
Amen.
Mabrur. Allah Ta'ala
Amen.
accept each and every dua of yours. And
Amen.
as you mentioned, let us not forget those that are less fortunate than us, particularly those that are facing oppression right across the entire world. Please remember them, especially in your du'as. And remember us also here at Salam
Mhm.
Media, inshallah.
I definitely will. I mean, inshallah. No, I will definitely will. I know the media. I got it on my list as media agencies in South Africa. I have a lot of duas for you all. I've been involved in it with my late father, and so I do understand the dynamics behind it and the challenges. And so consistently, I'll make dua for all of the not only the presenters and the management, but also all of the listeners and viewers of Salam Media. Inshallah.
Well, Jazakallah khairan so much for that. And inshallah, like I said, is we hope we will be able to touch base, inshallah, at some point in time. But for now, Jazakallah for being part of our Hajj Diaries 2025, Brother Nazir. Faith in motion, Alhamdulillah. And you have been in motion, Alhamdulillah, from what you've described as well. And inshallah, over the next 10 days or so, inshallah, a lot still to happen. But like I said, Hajj Makbul, Hajj Mabrur to you, my
Ameen.
brother.
Ameen, inshallah. Shukran. Assalamu
I
alaikum.
mean, Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nazeer Jamal joining us this morning as part of our Hajj preparation, Hajj Diaries 2025. And next up, fired up with Hafiz Imran Chunara, CEO of Africa Muslim Agency. This hour of news and views was brought to you by Africa Muslim Agency. And his topic, the strength of the wolf in the pack and the strength of the pack is in the wolf. With that, I'm signing off from myself and the rest of the team. Have yourself a wonderful Jummah. Have a great weekend. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.